not my problem.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how it goes. Maybe.
Some people never
There was
learn.
a time when things would have gone very differently. Some people never learn. I doubt that's ever
They will always talk.
I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, though.
I better keep out of it.
I want to learn more about fighting with a two-handed sword.
First of all, you need to change your basic stance. Hold the sword vertically, grasp the hilt firmly in both hands, and hold it at the side of your body. Bring it down quickly and swing the blade over your shoulder. Now's your chance to do a quick slash to your right. Your opponent won't have time to come at you. Or bring the sword down from the top left in a forward thrust to drive your opponent back. Spin around to give your next blow the necessary momentum to strike your opponent down. If it isn't enough, use your remaining swing to wield the sword again. When you've finished your attack, block your opponent and wait for an opening to strike again. The key to success is varying your stances and changing positions.
I found a focus in the mountain fort.
Brilliant. Now we have all 5 focus stones. Your deeds are invaluable to our camp. Be assured of my eternal gratitude. Go to Riordian now. He'll give you something for your immense efforts. Speak to Kronos, the keeper of the ore as well. He'll give you another gift from our community.
Can you blast the ore mound now?
We now have all the artifacts we need to fulfill our plan. But the barrier was created by 12 magicians. There are not enough magicians in the circle of water to control the powerful energies and to guide them onto the right course.
What can we do?
I'm aware that you've already done much for our community. We owe you greatly, but in the interest of all the inhabitants of the colony, I need to ask one more favor of you.
One more favor?
Yes. Go to the old camp and try to win some of the magicians of the Circle of Fire for our cause.
Magicians of fire? Why should they want to give up their easy life? The destruction of the barrier would rob them of their powerful position.
That is the exact reason why you must accomplish this mission. You know people from all the camps of the colony. Remind the magicians of fire of the old times, when we studied the arts of magic together.
All right then, I'll try to convince the magicians of fire. But I can't promise anything. It seems nearly impossible to me.
You must try. If you do not succeed in this, there is only one other, just one...
One what?
Forget it. You must succeed. Here, take this magic rune. Hand it over to Coristo, the High Magician of the Circle of Fire, as a sign of our trust. With this, he can teleport into this room without passing the guards, anytime he wants. I hope that it will convince our former friends of our good intentions. May you return in one piece. Greetings.
Satyrus said you had a reward for me?
Ah, come here, come here. Our spiritual leader has told me about your heroic deeds. All the people in the camp, no, the whole colony, are deeply indebted to you. Take this as a modest reward for all your efforts.
I thought that would have been clarified a long time ago. I'm not listening to all the blathering.
That wasn't very clever.
Let's talk about something else instead.
going on. Better not to go rushing into anything.
It was obvious that there would be trouble.
I thought that had been cleared up ages ago. That wasn't very clever.
It was obvious that there would be trouble.
Same. Well, hang on.
Some people never.
Hello?
Every time.
That won't happen again.
Well, there was a time when things would have gone very differently.
People always
You
talk.
shouldn't believe everything you
Wasn't
hear.
very clever.
Same old story
People
every
always
time.
talk.
People always talk.
There must be something about that story after all.
I better keep out of it.
It was obvious there would be trouble
That
ahead.
won't happen again.
As long as I'm not involved. You're very probably
You
right.
have to watch what you tell people.
Rely on somebody
Wasn't
and
very
you're in
clever.
trouble. That's how it
I
goes.
better keep out of it.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how
Maybe.
it goes.
You have to watch what you tell people.
There must be something about that story after
Watch
all.
what you tell people.
You're very probably
But
right.
keep it to yourself. People don't need to know it.
Same old.
You have to watch what you tell people.
There was a time when I led a very different life. I was one of the best generals of this country. I've spent my whole life fighting for my country. But the nobles didn't like me because the king listened to my advice, and they knew I posed a threat to their dirty business. I hadn't counted on their insidiousness. They used the king's wife to get me. I was blamed for her pointless murder. King Robar had no other choice. The services I had rendered my country saved me from the gallows, but they robbed me of my freedom. One day I'll be free again, then I shall return and take revenge. I shall have my revenge.
That won't happen. If you think... you're probably right.
As long as I'm not involved.
Maybe.
Same old story every time.
Hey, no sweat, man. Come over here.
You okay?
I'm hiding away here. I don't care for the trash those guards are pulling off. But I've taken some pretty good stuff from the arsenal. If you need a weapon, just let me know.
Can you teach me to fight?
I only train guards. So until Thoris has made you one, you'll have to find someone else.
Will you train me?
If you have enough ore, I'll teach you how to use a crossbow. Just pay me 200 ore.
Show me what you have.
They are all dead, I couldn't help them. I was not there.
Calm down, Milton. What happened?
They killed the magicians of fire, all of them apart from me, and I was close to death as well.
You'd better tell me the whole story from the beginning, one thing after the other.
Okay, keep cool, Milton, keep cool. It all started with the old mine caving in.
The old mine caved in?
Yes. It all happened very fast. Nobody in the mine made it out. The guards blocked the entrance to the mine.
I met Gorn.
Really? Where?
By the old ruined monastery by the sea. The two of us searched it for treasures.
I'm sure he'll tell me all about it when we meet again.
Lester and I took out the mountain fort.
He told me about it. Apparently, you can be trusted.
Where have the four of you been meeting so far?
Oh, here and there. We meet in a lot of different places.
How could the mine cave in?
I have no idea. Some of the diggers who were waiting in front of the entrance said something about a massive earthquake and a huge cloud of dust coming from the tunnel.
Were you there?
Yes, that's where I learned about the cave-in.
What was that you said about the magicians of fire?
I only know that they were killed by the ore barons shortly after the mine caved in. When I returned from our adventure under the Ring of Stone, the guards at the gate suddenly attacked me. They shouted words like traitor and collaborator at me. I had a very narrow escape.
Why would the ore barons want to kill the magicians? It doesn't make sense.
That's right. The guards just didn't give me any opportunity to ask. They drew their swords immediately. Perhaps Diego knows more. He was in the camp when things got worse.
You should hide, far away from here.
No. Diego and I agreed to keep an eye on the two gates and to warn our unsuspecting friends from the other camps. Please talk to Diego.
Where can I find Diego?
He's hiding on the other side of the old camp, near the back gate. Please talk to him. See you later.
traitor! To think we let a thing like you join the guards. Bah!
Hey, what are you talking about, Fletcher?
You're in with that new camp scum, aren't you?
Hold on.
I guess you must have thought we wouldn't figure it out, huh?
Ho! Hold your horses.
No, you hold on! Hold on to your head, 'cause you're going to be missing it soon! Die, traitor! You'll be sorry.
Wasn't very clever. Let's talk about something else instead.
What are...
Oh.
Hey, shh, be quiet.
Hello, Diego. I've already talked to Milton on the other side of the camp.
Okay, so you already know what happened. But did you also hear about the planned raid on the free mine?
How could the old mine cave in?
One of the diggers who survived it told us that they were digging, and they hit an underground river on the bottom level. When the water gushed into the mine, one of the supports broke, and the entire upper section collapsed. Only a handful of people managed to escape from the mine.
Why are the fire mages dead?
That's a long story.
Just tell me about it. It's not the first long story I've had to listen to.
Well then, luckily I was in the ore baron's house when they got the news that the mine had collapsed. Gomez was hopping mad when he heard about the accident, and he was afraid that his position could be at stake.
Of course. Who controls the ore controls the colony as well.
That's right. Since he has no source of income anymore, the goods from the outside world won't come in anymore either. Nobody will work for him if he doesn't get another source of income soon.
And that's the reason for the raid on the free mine?
To be honest, that's Gomez's only chance to maintain his power. 2 hours ago, 24 guards set out for the free mine.
That's mad. I need to warn the new camp.
Then you must hurry up. They'll have almost reached the free mine.
But they never get through the fortifications of the new camp.
They don't need to get through them. A few months ago, they found a path that leads over the mountains and right to the free mine, and nobody else knows about it.
I've seen the guards in front of the locked gates.
Stay away from them. They'll attack anybody approaching the camp. They are afraid of somebody avenging the raid on the free mine.
But what happened to the fire mages?
Coristo and the other mages were the only people in the camp to remain rational. They forbade the raid and demanded a settlement with the 2 other camps.
They forbade Gomez to raid the free mine?
Well, yes. Coristo and the others shouldn't have been so self-confident. Gomez didn't trust them anymore and had them perfidiously assassinated.
What are you and Milton going to do now?
We'll stay here for a while to warn some more friends so they don't bump straight into the guards. But you could do us a favor.
Consider it done. Tell me what you want.
Look out for Lester and Gorn. They need to know what happened here. Tell them that the 4 of us will meet at the same place as always.
If I see them before you do, I'll warn them and send them to your meeting point.
Thanks, my friend. You really seem to be an all right guy. Go now. We'll meet again later.
Take care.
Hello? Come back.
Take care.
It's the traitor in our midst. Pah! And we called you a guard.
Hold on. What are you talking about, Bloodwin?
So you're in cahoots with the new camp, huh?
No, wait, I'm still...
Guess you must have thought you could go on like that forever.
Stop this nonsense!
Traitors like you must die. Die, traitor! It's the traitor in our midst.
Hold on. What are you talking?
So you're in...
No, wait.
Guess...
Stop.
Traitor... Die! You'll be very sorry for that. It's the traitor.
Hold.
So you're in...
No, wait, I'm...
Die! You'll be very sorry for that. You'll be very sorry for that. You'll be very sorry for that.
I'm glad you returned. Something terrible has happened.
Let me guess, the free mine has been assaulted by the guards from the old camp. Nobody saw them coming?
Hang on. How? But of course. You found out about it in the old camp. Gorn arrived here just before you did. What could have caused Gomez to dare to take such an aggressive step? He should be aware that such a heinous act can only provoke war.
The old mine collapsed after water seeped in.
Collapsed? Of course. Then the whole thing makes sense. Gomez has his back to the wall. He's more dangerous than ever. Now that he doesn't have anything left to lose, he'll do anything.
Gomez has had all of the Magicians of Fire killed.
Had them killed? Why in Beliar's name would he do a thing like that?
They were against the attack on the free mine and opposed Gomez.
Then we're all doomed. Without the other 6 magicians, we'll never be able to control the concentrated power of the massive ore mound. But in spite of that, I thank you for passing this dangerous message on to me.
I have been exiled from the old camp because I have helped you.
You don't belong to the old camp any longer? Then I welcome you to our community.
Does that mean the mercenaries will take me on?
Talk to Lee. He'll see to it. Then come back to me.
When you sent me to the Magicians of Fire, you mentioned there was somebody.
Well, I had hoped we could make it without his help, but the way things are developing...
Who is he?
All right. Many, many years ago.
Give me the shortened version, please.
Be patient. Well, when we, the 12 magicians, created the barrier back then, our magic powers were directed and controlled by a 13th magician.
A 13th magician? I thought there were only 12.
Most people who did not experience the early days of the colony believe that. This 13th magician was our leader. All this took place before we were divided into the circles of fire and water. But he left the old camp, which was once the only camp of the colony.
What is this 13th magician called?
His name is Zardus. Hardly anybody remembers the old stories about him. The ones who do just call him the Necromancer.
Why did he leave the old camp?
He started to investigate the invocation of undead and magical creatures. Gomez was not the only one who began to worry. Most of the other magicians opposed him as well, and his unholy deeds.
What happened then?
Unlike Gomez, he was no butcher, so he avoided the conflict and left.
Where is this magician today?
He lives in seclusion, in his tower in the middle of the Orc land. That's just about the southernmost point of the colony.
I'll make my way to Zardus and ask him for help.
He's the only one that can help us now. If he knows no way out or doesn't want to help us,
he will.
There is one other problem.
A problem?
Yes. Over the years, we've tried to get in touch with Zardus several times, but it looks like he prefers to remain undisturbed.
What does that mean?
None of the messengers ever returned from his tower. You'll have to find a way to get past his creatures.
Looks like this is going to be interesting. How will I get past his creatures?
If I knew that, I would tell you. I'd advise you to do some research in our library. Maybe you'll find something in the old books about the strengths and weaknesses of magically invoked creatures.
I'll rummage through the library, and don't worry, I'll be back.
May you return in one piece.
Hello!
I met Diego and Milton in front of the old camp.
That's good news.
They want to meet you and Lester at your usual rendezvous.
Thanks. There's nothing more valuable than good friends in troubled times like these. You're almost one of us by now. You're reliable.
What have you got planned now?
Our entire defense strategy will have to be changed. That takes time. Until Lee and his people are ready, I'll join Cord's Provisional Guard.
Are you planning a counterattack?
Not yet, but the day will come. If ever you're looking for me, start here and walk towards the mine. I'll be on guard there.
You're very
Rely on somebody.
Hello.
Satyrus said you had a reward for me.
As the keeper of the ore, I'd like to give you a small portion of our ore for your great deeds on behalf of the camp. I hope you'll make as good use of it as we do.
Rely on somebody, and you're in trouble. That's how it goes.
As long as I'm not involved.
Right. If you think
There must be something about that story after all.
you shouldn't believe everything you hear,
There was a time when things would have gone very differently.
you shouldn't believe everything you hear.
But keep it to yourself. People don't need to know.
That's really not my problem.
People always talk. If you shouldn't believe everything you
know
hear.
Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how it goes.
I'm not something about that story after all.
Hang on. I better keep out of it.
If you think... Hello.
The old camp has banned me. I'd like to join you.
You've done much for our camp. I can make good use of men like you. Let's keep it short. Welcome to the new camp, mercenary. Here, take some armor. Good that you're here with us.
What do you think about the mine?
They've gone too far. They'll be sorry for it.
Can you teach me something?
I can help you to get stronger and more dexterous.
I need better armor.
You'll first have to earn your armor. Apart from that, they don't come cheap.
Give me the heavy armor.
This armor is the best piece you'll ever get inside the barrier, and believe me, it's worth the ore.
It was obvious that there would be trouble ahead. I'm...
You have to watch what you know.
Greetings.
Lee has admitted me to the mercenaries.
Good, very good. Then you are now officially a part of our community. Be welcome.
Nefarious said I was ready to wear the robe of a magician of water.
Then I welcome you to our community.
Does that mean that I now belong to the Guild of the Magicians of Water?
Not yet. First you need to take the oath of water. May you return in one piece?
It was obvious that there would be trouble ahead. Same old story every time.
Master Eberian used to say,
How are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing here?
The old mine collapsed after water seeped in.
So?
All the magicians of fire are dead. Gomez had them assassinated.
It won't be easy to straighten that out.
I met Diego and Milton in front of the old camp. They want a meeting at the usual place.
It was about time!
What happens now?
I'm gonna stay here a bit longer to study the old books.
I don't understand.
Master Eberian used to say, a student tries to move things with his hands and feet. The master moves them with his spiritual powers.
Okay, I get the point.
Take care.
Thank you. I'll be on my way now.
May the sleeper protect you.
Hold on, who's talking to me? You are talking to me? How did you get into my head? You are what? The servant of your master? You seem to be a creature from hell. You want me to be silent? Is your master's name perhaps Zardas? Oh, right, so names are not important. Okay, I'll just assume that this here is the Tower of Zardas. I have to talk to your master. Me? Unworthy? What kind of test? Ah, I understand. Whoever wants to talk to your master must prove worthy first. Hold on, what was that? The proof? Victory over what? Victory over the elements? Stone? Ice? Fire? Here's the heart of a stone golem. What? Right! Worthy proofs! Missing? 2 are still missing? Is this heart of an ice golem the proof? Duality? The second proof? 1 is still remaining? What about this heart of a fire golem? Perfection? I'm worthy? If that's the case, I'd like to speak to your master now. Counter evidence? What kind of counter evidence? A rune? A rune for me? Well, then I'll accept the rune of teleportation as a sign of worthiness. Mortal? Who? Me? Okay, I'm on my way. Mortal?
Who dares to disturb me in my studies?
My name is...
I don't wish to know your name. It's insignificant. All that matters is that you're the first person in years to have solved my golem's riddles.
Have there been any other visitors?
Not many. And when they began to annoy me, I confronted them with one of my supernatural creatures.
You enjoy being on your own, don't you? I was sent by Saturus. We need your help. The magicians of water plan to use their big ore mound.
The ore mound is not the solution.
It isn't?
No.
All the magicians of fire are dead. Gomez had them assassinated.
That does not surprise me. Those foolish barbarian butchers in the castle, especially Gomez, were never to be trusted. Caristo and the other magicians elected their own hangman when they helped Gomez to usurp the power.
The so-called sleeper is said to be an evil archdemon. That's what the Brotherhood in the swamp found out. Now the magicians of water believe that everybody in the colony is in great danger.
There is a greater danger than anyone within the barrier could possibly imagine.
If the explosion of the ore mound doesn't avert the great danger...
Forget the ore mound. Its power won't open the barrier. If Caristo and Satyrus hadn't wasted their time fighting over foolish and vain issues throughout the past years, they'd all know what I know now.
Which is?
None of the 12 magicians ever stopped to wonder why the formation of the barrier got beyond their control, or why it assumed such gigantic proportions.
Did you find out why that happened?
Well, one thing is certain. The answer lies deep beneath the Orc Town.
The Orc Town?
Orcs are not animals, as many people think. Their culture is as old as the human culture. A few centuries ago, 5 Orc shaman invoked a very old archdemon, which they hoped would give their clan the power to defeat their enemies.
This archdemon, was it the Sleeper?
The Orcs gave him that name much later. But I won't tell you why they did it, or why they are now terrified by this supernatural creature.
Why not?
I believe you could be... No. To be really sure, you'll have to perform another task.
Which task?
Listen carefully. The Orcs have exiled one of their shamans from the town.
Why have they exiled him?
The dying Orc warrior was no longer able to answer that question when he was interrogated by one of my demons.
What does this Orc shaman have to do with my task?
He'll tell you the rest of the story about the Sleeper.
An Orc shaman is hardly likely to be keen on talking to me.
Do you want me to help you or do you not?
Well, yes, but...
Then never question my words again. Find the shaman. He's not on good terms with his brothers in the Orc Town, so he may listen to you before turning you into a living torch.
Very comforting. Where is this exiled shaman?
Go to the old citadel in the east. You can't miss it. It's on top of a high mountain, which can be seen from a distance.
Can you just enter it?
They call it the old citadel, but there's hardly anything left of it other than the foundation walls. It's been a ruin for many decades.
I will get the answers from this shaman.
My servant has already given you a teleportation rune for the pentagram 1 floor below. That will make it easier for you to get back here later.
I'm seeking magic knowledge.
Have you spoken to Zardus?
No.
Why not?
I couldn't get into that area yet.
You need to find him and ask him for advice. Have you spoken to...
The whole thing's not the way you think.
What do you mean? He needs to find a way how to blow up the ore mound.
The ore mound, it's grown very high.
Find Zardus. He needs the help.
It's obvious that there would be trouble. Maybe.
thought that... You're very... That's really not my problem. You don't have to...
Thanks, stranger. Bad orcs want kill me. Old brothers, today enemies.
Who are you?
Name Urshak. Be son of the spirit. People call shaman.
How do you know our language?
Urshak be slave of humans in mine. Run away. Happened many winters ago.
You were a slave in the mine? Which mine?
Mine beyond the village in Hollow.
Why do your brothers fight you?
Urshak in disfavor. Besmirch creed in Krushak. Believe Krushak bad demon.
What does Krushak mean?
Humans call sleep.
You mean sleeper?
That's humans say sleeper.
What do you know about the sleeper?
Be 5 brothers. Be many winters ago. Be sons of spirit, like Urshak.
You mean 5 shaman?
Call Krushak. One defeat clan of enemy. 5 brothers then build temple under earth for Krushak.
A subterranean temple for the sleeper? That's what Zardos must have meant when he spoke about the entrance being in the orc town. What happened in the underground temple?
Brothers that give heart to Krushak. But Krushak be bad. Krushak curse all who build temple. Brothers have no heart. Be dead and live. Be both. Krushak now have heart of brothers. Heart now be power for Krushak.
What happened to the workers who built the temple?
Krushak curse all. Workers too. Be all dead and live. Both at same time.
Didn't the orcs at the surface do anything about it?
They seal temple. Brothers today worship Krushak. Krushak gets sacrifice, so no become bad. Urshak think sacrifice bad thing. I said Krushak bad. Brothers no want to hear. Brothers say Urshak go. Brothers hit Urshak.
I need to enter the underground temple. Can you take me there?
Urshak say thanks to stranger. Stranger save Urshak. But entry of temple be home. Urshak home no can go.
I see. You mean they won't let you go back into the York town? Well, looks like I'll have to fight my way through.
Brothers home very strong. Brothers be very many. Stranger no go. Many warriors. Stranger die. Other sons of spirit home. Stranger make fire. Then stranger die.
Okay, but I have to find a way into the temple.
Urshak no way. Stranger wear ulumulu.
Ulumulu? What's an ulumulu?
The sign of friendship. Brothers respect ulumulu. Stranger wear ulumulu. Then stranger no die.
Where can I get this ulumulu?
Stranger go see friend of Urshak. Friend of Urshak kill ulumulu. Stranger wear ulumulu. Then stranger no die.
Yeah, I have the no die bit all right, but where can I find your friend?
Friend of Urshak in mind of humans. Friend no run away with Urshak. Friend be ill then.
Were you held captive in the old mine?
Urshak no understand.
Were you a prisoner in the abandoned mine?
Urshak no word.
Were you held in the free mine?
Urshak prisoner in mine under village in hollow. Urshak think people call so.
Thanks for your help.
Urshak say thanks to stranger. Stranger save Urshak. Stranger now friend of Urshak. Friend take present. Take Urshak talisman. Talisman protect from breath of fire lizard. Urshak can no go home. Urshak now live here. Friend come when need help.
I may take you up on your offer. How you doing, my friend?
Urshak be healthy. Urshak now looking find own ulumulu. Maybe Urshak go home with own ulumulu. Friend come when need help.
Take care.